you have to know that you are the magnet. You are all you need to manifest your next life. You are the one that draws the opportunities to you, the people to you. In order to manifest your best life, you have to sit in the energy as if it's already happened. And let me tell you, it's going to feel like life isn't working out. It's going to feel like all the practices you're doing and that it's not working. It's going to feel like life isn't moving forward and you're just that 1% of people that law of attraction doesn't work for. Now, as we're manifesting our best life, we kind of forget what we have already manifested. Now, this is depending where you are on your journey. It was very hard for me to say that at the very beginning because I hadn't created enough evidence. So this really is for the people that kind of are in the midst of your journey where, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I was a single parent living with my parents in my 30s. And I had the determination and the ambition to keep moving forward in life, like to study, to work, to get a house, but I was stuck. And there were moments where it's just like, I just want to get this. I just want to get that. And then I get it. And then I move on to like the next stressor of my life. And it kind of reiterates feeling like I'm not where I want to be, even though I've manifested the next thing I wanted to manifest. So say, at that time, the start of my journey, I just wanted to manifest a job. And then when I got the job, it's like, then I just stressed about, here I am living at my parents' house with a toddler. And so all I could focus on was the lack of everything that I don't have, when really all I wanted at that time was to get a job. And once I got that, I kind of forgot about it. And as I said, just kept going back to the lack of what it is I don't have. So you do forget that what you have now is what you did want to manifest in whatever way that has come. And then you're moving on to like the next lack in your life. So we kind of don't realize that we are already manifesting. It just doesn't feel like it because we're not at the very end of where we want to be. And now that I have everything that I wanted, I still go back to looking at all the things that I don't have because, I'm not where I want to be yet. And it's like, no, Tara, you got the house. You got the house that you have been dreaming about. You are on board with your career now. Like you have gotten everything that you've wanted. Let's just move up to the next chapter now. Move into the next chapter. So you do kind of forget how much you have manifested. Now, so I just want to make you aware of the version of you from 3 years ago would have wanted what you currently have. So this is just something to keep in mind when you're manifesting. So as we go along in our manifestation journey, again, we're going to feel like nothing's working, nothing's turning out. And when I reflect back on my manifestation journey, at the time, it felt like nothing was moving, nothing was working. But when I reflect back on it, everything was actually falling into place. It just didn't feel like it because I wasn't a multi-millionaire yet. But the mentors were coming in. The friendships fell into my lap. Like I wanted to align myself with friendships that were more on their spiritual level. And they literally fell into my lap. I did not have to go out of my way to find them. I wanted to take on more study and all of that fell into my lap. So as you're on this journey, it's all about following the breadcrumbs. It's all of everything that is unraveling is going to get you to where you want to be. But sorry, just making sure my mic is on. But my journey looked like doing online courses, having mentors, investing in myself, investing the money I didn't have into mentors and courses and my business and like renting my business room and going bigger or larger and being seen, it becomes, you have to follow the breadcrumbs. Like you become the magnet, and then it's up to you to follow the breadcrumbs. It's, following the yellow brick road, but you only know that next step ahead. So as you're manifesting, like you're living in the end, right? Your heart space is your magnet. So the more you can feel into that heart space, the more you're going to attract in your life. So this is going to be something that you have to keep reminding yourself throughout the day, of opening that heart space. When you become aware of what it is that you're thinking about, because your thoughts and emotions create your reality. So you have to become ultra aware of what you're currently thinking and your current self-talk, and state the opposite, because all of this becomes a magnet, whether that's negative or positive, depending what your baseline is of emotion, right? So love always conquers all. So if you're going to like a downward spiral, you have to try and snap yourself out of that, and it's going to feel really uncomfortable. But the more you can keep snapping yourself out of the daydream that you're having, the self-talk that you're having, and state the opposite. Love conquers fear. Love conquers positive conquers negativity. So always just state the opposite, because it's the only way, not the only way, like there are other ways, but it's the most prominent way to retrain your thoughts. Your thoughts create beliefs, and your beliefs is what you create in your reality. So in order to believe something new, you have to have that, like when you daydream, you have to daydream about the future that you want as if it's already happening, rather than constantly going to the past. Because if you're constantly going to the past and bringing it into the present, you're going to be manifesting from that place. So if you bring the future into the present as if it's already happened, and you daydream about that, your self-talk is all about, oh my God, I can't believe I'm living my best life, this is amazing, even though you don't feel it in front of you, you're going to manifest from that place. But it's not going to look like what you think it's going to look like. As I said, my breadcrumbs, my opportunities were signing up to online courses, buying books, having mentors fall into my lap. Like I actually did not ever go once. I went out of my way to find a mentor, which I've mentioned in other videos, but I've never had to go out of my way to find what it is that I've been wanting. I was patient enough to align to that reality where that mentor or that friend or that house, that job came into play now. I had to align. So all realities are on different frequencies. And so through your self-talk and through your heart space that you radiate, it will take you through that frequency where the mentor is, the friends, the house, the car. You become the magnet through guiding your emotions to the frequency that it's at. Now, I love EFT tapping. EFT tapping is a big one for me. When I was manifesting this house, I did a lot of EFT tapping, and I did a lot of affirming. And when I would find myself daydreaming, I would switch it. When I became consciously aware of what I'm dreaming about, I would switch it to the house, not knowing what it looked like, but having like the intention of, I can't believe I have the house, and stating all its qualities. It's so beautiful, it's fantasy-like, it's magical, it's safe. I would visualize my daughter going next door and playing with her friend that she's made. And it just so happens that the people I live opposite is one of my good friends, and her daughter lives across the road, and they go to school together. So she'll come over in her PJs and come and get my daughter and just play all day, all weekend. So it's all about aligning your thoughts and the energy that you are emitting. You constantly have to be redirecting your thoughts and your words to the future that you want. And then through that, you become the magnet to everything that you've been wanting, but it won't look like what you think it's going to look like. And Bashar always talks about this too. If you've ever listened to Bashar, he's a channeler. And so he will talk about that you think you know what it's going to look like, and it will be along that frequency, but it will be so much better. It's always better than what you could ever imagine. And it's happened in every part of my life since consciously manifesting a better life. It's been so much better than my wildest of expectations and dreams. But at the time, it just didn't feel like things were moving forward. Like things just happened ever so gradually. And you'll find that maybe that's what's happening for you. It's kind of like a gradual process. It requires a lot of patience. It requires sitting in that uncomfortability, because consciously manifesting isn't for the weak, for the lighthearted. It's all mental, right? It's not physically hard, it's mentally hard, because it's sitting in the uncomfortability of just trusting your gut that the thing will fall into your lap. The opportunity will come to you. So, I had to spend money I didn't have into online courses and mentors. And it's been the best journey ever. Like money has to flow in order for money to, now I don't like to speak big on money, but I'm more about helping people along their journey. But money needs to be invested, whether that's in stocks or in your education, in your business, like whatever it may be. Money needs to be, what do you call it? Like in circulation. Money needs to be in circulation. Money needs to flow. It can't be a stuck energy. And I've always had enough. I don't know where the money has come from, but there have been times where like I had $2 in my bank account. And somehow I was okay. I was damn right nervous at the time. I've never had $2 in my bank account, ever. And that was very frightening, but I ended up being okay. And now I have more money than, like, now that I'm renting like my dream house, and I have more money now than what I did prior to renting. It's mind baffling. I don't like to talk about money because money has been the hardest part of my journey, but I literally did have $8,000 fall into my lap. I did not have to open up my laptop. Like, this money like fell from the sky. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to get off the couch, nothing, and it fell into my lap. But I've been trying to manifest that money for such a long time. And it's like the moment I kind of forgot, the moment I kind of like was focusing on other things that came into my life. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes you have to forget. And I find like when it's like materialistic things like clothing, shoes, like something for the house, I've set the intention. So it's like the bubble that I've set out to the universe and it's floating, my idea. And then a few months later, I'll come across the shoes, the piece of clothing, the house thing, the thing that I wanted for my house. I'll just naturally come across it and be like, oh, I was thinking of that a few months ago. I finally found it. So it is like set and forget. The more pressure we put on trying to get to where we want to be, we create more resistance. But it's incredibly hard to set and forget when you're in a situation that you need to get out of, right? And so, again, this is like where the mental strength needs to come in, that just by doing the EFT tapping, the affirming, the visualization, like the living in the end, knowing that you are going to become a magnet for what it is that you want. Like you kind of have to sit in this knowing that it's going to be okay, that the thing that you want will come to you. You have to, like what you're experiencing now is your reality that you manifested from your thoughts and your words a few days ago, weeks ago, months ago, years ago. And so you have to play catch up. You have to wait for your reality shift into the new thoughts, words, and visualizations that you're currently doing now. You have to wait for life to catch up to that. And then you'll find opportunities and people starting to come to you. So Let me know what's happening in your life. I'd really love to create a community of people on this channel. So please tell me something that you have already manifested, because we tend to forget what we wanted, and then we get it and then we move on to like the next stressor of our life. So I want you to write in the comments what you have manifested. Let's not forget that you actually have always been manifesting, whether it was intentional or not. All right. And I don't have to know you to know that life's going to work out. Like, you have the potential. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to sit in the uncomfortability, in the unknown, in the darkness. That's what's mentally hard. That's what's hard about this process. It's not physical, it's mental, it's energy. Okay. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you in my next video.